will take you on this musical ambiance. He has written, produced, collaborated with such artists as, y'all ready? Jill Scott.
What?
Musiq Soulchild.
Okay.
DJ Jesse,
Yeah.
Jeff
Hey.
Roberson, Vivian Green,
Okay.
and many, many more, man.
Yep.
His signature style has generated fans from the U.S., the U.K., to Caribbean, all the way to Africa and back home. As it goes to saying, to hear him sing is to love his music. So joining us right now in the Groove Studios this evening, the one and only Mr. Eric Roberson.
Can you see us?
Can you see us?
I can see you. You guys can see me, though, I guess. Huh?
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
We can
he's
see you.
gonna bring us
we're
in 1 second so you can
Told
see
y'all
us.
we had technical difficulties. Y'all didn't believe me.
That's right. How you doing, brother?
Rebuke all gremlins. I'm good, man. I got no complaints, man. Happy to be here.
Man, I'm feeling that hat.
Yeah,
Yeah, all those hats. I said he needs at least one more.
Right.
There you go.
So you got it here. I'm your host, C. Mose, and then we got the beautiful, talented co-host. Her name is Shantini Irie.
Hi.
And then to the other side, we got two DJs for you tonight, man. DJ DeVoe,
Hey. Oh, that's him over there.
DJ Red,
Hey, there you go. That's me.
and we have a consultant for our show, Mr. Robert A. Brown, who wrote a book. You got to know hold up.
Leave it alone.
Well, what's the name of your book? I know you got to know
Know
your
Your
soul.
Soul, A Music of a Lifetime.
Thank you very much.
He said, leave it alone.
Are you able
It's
to
your
turn up
book.
your sound, Eric? I can't hear you. We would love to be able to hear you.
I can turn up my sound, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. Because the callers they're in the
Yeah, people
chat
are
room
buzzing.
just waiting for you.
People are buzzing out here in L.A. So we had Facebook Live cracking. So you got a lot of people want to see you and talk to you this evening, brother. So we gonna have a Eric Roberson night.
Well, I'm honored. Now, can you hear me more or should I turn up more?
A
More.
little
little
bit
bit
more,
more.
yeah.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me go over. My whole system's on the other side. Hold on 1
Okay,
second.
all right.
It's all good.
Told y'all we had technical difficulties.
Yeah,
but
we
some
getting it in.
people-
We only have them because you keep saying that we have them.
Well, that's what we
We
had.
were fine before. No, we did not.
No,
Thank
hey,
God for
where is he going right
Keep
now?
speaking it-
Coco.
He keeps
Where-
speaking it out. You just keep
Like,
saying that.
where
we
is he
have it,
going
we
right
keep
now?
having it.
To the other side to turn it up. Is that a little difficulties?
We have it. Tony knows we didn't have it before.
Let it go.
No, we are going to be live and living color with Eric Roberson here in the Groove Studios. You ready for your first question for him?
Yeah, man. Come on now.
You got
How was that?
We got
That's
some viewers.
good.
That's good.
Good.
Well, brother, I had the opportunity and the pleasure of actually engineering for you when you did a show at the Savoy in Inglewood. It was a couple years back. On La Brea in Manchester, you did a real intimate show for about 300 to 400 people. It's one of the best shows I've seen. I've been there for about 10 years.
Here in LA.
Here in L.A.
What was the venue again? What
The
was it?
Savoy.
it's like a club.
It was a club
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
Inglewood, yeah.
Yeah.
Inglewood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you were just here in Inglewood too, right? At the when we met. You remember when we met at the
A new theater.
Miracle.
Not a theater, older theater, Miracle Theater.
Right.
Yeah, it's the
That's
new
what-
show for me there. Yeah.
that's when
right.
we met, if you remember.
Indeed,
Yes,
man.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
We got it. See?
Good time there, man. We had a good time.
Yes, we did. It was a wonderful time, man, and folks and all loved it, man. That's why we said we had to have you in the Groove Studios to take the folks on this musical journey. So we started out with the journey with your first release in '94, The Moon.
The Moon, yeah. my first beginning, 19 years old, man.
19?
19
Yeah,
years old.
getting aged a bit.
All right, I'll take it.
Now, we always ask every one of our guests, did you come out of the womb singing? Where did it start for you as an artist, as a singer?
Yeah, I mean, I had a really musical household. I had an older sister who was really, really musical. My dad played guitar and sung. He was really musical as well. So I don't think at least I can speak for myself, that I don't know if I knew what we were doing. We just were always doing music. We were always singing, but at the same time, I was drawing just as much. I was skateboarding and I was doing whatever creatively I could think of. I was really just trying to follow the lead of my sister, really. You know what I mean? So I was designing clothes. I designed my tux for my prom. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
Okay.
so like all those different things, we would just whatever creativity we could really express, whether that was theater, whether that was making something or doing music. And then eventually, as I got a little bit older and into my teens, the music I started noticing, okay, maybe I'm doing a little bit more than what most of my friends are doing music wise. Then my parents got me a keyboard that I could actually program on, and that was it, man. It was like no turning back after that.
Were you musically educated in school, or did you take most of your musical influence outside of school?
You know, church was my first school, really. And then whatever my sister was one who was put in piano class. She was in theater. She was in all those different things. I was just the little brother following. But I was fortunate to get a scholarship to Howard University.
A bison. He's a bison.
Nice.
You know, and I chose the major in musical theater there. So my educational side of it came starting in college. But I went to a regular high school. You know, growing up.
Now, did you go to Howard with any other people that we would know? Anybody else that made a career in music?
Plenty. I mean, I'll start off by just saying, you know, Taraji P. Henson was a junior when I got there, and even Chad Boseman, God rest the dead, was a freshman when I was a junior. You know. But then at the same time, even Marlon Wayans, who was a good friend at Howard, shot Mo Money and came back and was sitting in class with a movie out. You know what I'm saying? That was a valuable lesson. I always, to this day, remember how valuable that lesson was, because then me getting a record deal in my sophomore year, it wasn't a question of, you know, am I going back to school? Mind you, I didn't stay at that time. I eventually went back and finished. But going back to school, I tried it. I tried, like, with a song like really, really exploding, especially in the DC area. I was sitting in class like, all right, how's this gonna work?
Right.
You know. But yeah, I mean, the names go. I mean, I'm so proud of so many of my classmates, so many of my friends. It was an amazing circle, and we came pretty much after the Puffy circle of people.
Right,
you know what I mean? They left. He left, I think, the year before me. And of course, you know, there's such a long list of people that he brought with him.
Yeah.
But just from producers, singers, songwriters, you know, artists, there's a ton of us just in my time.
I just got a
It's amazing
text.
to hear.
Tracy Lee, Selmo.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll even say this. So of course, Tracy Lee, the theme is party time. So me and Tracy Lee were in a singing group together called Mad Props.
Okay.
Nice.
Most people don't even know that Tracy can really sing great. And we were in a singing group of Selmo, that was one of my homies as well. Good friend. Just swag out. You know, Selmo's one of them guys you study swag.
Yeah.
Learn how to carry yourself from Selmo. He was a upperclassman by the time I got there.
Okay.
So I was able to just kind of watch and see how he talked and how he handled things. I was like, okay, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Now, where are you from originally?
Born and raised in New Jersey. I mean, I've lived in a couple of different areas.
Somebody owes somebody some money.
He's joking. Jake, see?
I'm
Somebody
sorry.
owes somebody some money because somebody said you were from Detroit and somebody said you were from New Jersey. So they had a little conversation. Don't do it with Detroit now. Hold yourself
I
now.
got my money. Thank you.
But he somebody owe him some money though.
Rob, thank you.
It ain't me
appreciate that.
though. It ain't me. Now, who were some of your earliest influences growing up?
Oh man, it's really so many. But in all honesty, I've always said really, I remember really being affected by music.
Yeah.
They had an album called "Go Tell Somebody," and I remember my dad had won the album at a family reunion, and I remember I was ironing clothes, getting ready for school, and I just put the CD on just to kind of have some music in the basement while I was getting my clothes ready, and I noticed that tears were falling on my clothes, and that's when I realized like how impactful the music was to me. And I remember saying, I want to do that, whatever that is, I want to do that. And so like to even know Fred Hammond, to have met Michael Williams, all those brothers from Commission now is really a dream come true. And then I was a hip hop head growing up. You know, I grew up in Jersey. You know,
I was about to say, that's like where you guys had a whole different brand of hip hop going on over there. That's the Bronx was the birthplace of it.
Just the excitement growing up and seeing my friends' older brothers coming home from New York parties and the flyers they were bringing home and the tapes we we were privy to listen to. It was so much of my imagination. So of course, when it's time for me to create, it's hard for me to ignore that side. And I think Tribe Called Quest was the first example of showing me how to bridge the gap of like my love for hip hop and how it can blend in to the gospel music I love, the rock and roll music, the soul music, the R&B music I love as well.
So, speaking of that, Biz Markie is from Jersey. I always thought he was from New York, but you know he's under the weather right now, and I pulled it up, and he's from Jersey, man. So blessings go out that he gets well. He's under the weather right now.
What city from Jersey are you from?
Supportive. I'm from a town called Rahway, New Jersey.
Okay.
The prison.
More known for the prison.
That's
true.
That's very true, though.
I thought every city in the United States had a major prison until I got to telling about Raw. They're like, after the prison?
No, we like California.
We don't have a
keep
prison.
ours
We
in
got
the boonies. We keep ours
Yeah.
out in the boondocks in case they get out.
We got a county jail though.
We got Twin Towers
well
County
known,
Jail,
right.
very well known. Yeah,
A lot of Negroes up in there. Hate
yeah.
to say.
Twin Towers. We
Hate
got
to say.
that's the place down there.
I got you.
Hey man,
But yeah, lucky for y'all can keep them a distance away.
right.
Right.
hey, we getting ready to go into a musical selection. And then we'll get back in as being an independent, going from being independent to getting on a label to back and just sharing that information and along with sharing your music with our listening audience, man. We appreciate you joining us now. It's an honor to have you in the Groove Studios, man. So have everybody tune in, man. Get on your social media. Tell them we're live right now here on We Love Rare Grooves. ubngo.com, channel 1, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter live. And man, we in with the sensational Eric Roberson tonight here on We Love Rare Grooves. DJ DeVoe.
That boy good. He good.
Take me away. You remember this one, man. I have a song, man. This
Oh yeah.
Girl, who even had a clue I fall for you, the furthest from my mind. At the time, I knew that love was blind, but I was focused, really focused, girl. The kiss so innocent, I truly meant to ever pierce a heart or leave it then. Now I can't remove your lipstick off my soul. I lost control of you and I. Dancing together to silent drums. Emotions get weaker to stronger ones. Next thing we're making love. It's the morning after, and here we are with emotions running wild. Can't ignore the night before. Two friends that fell in love. It's the morning after, and here we are with emotions. Ignore the night before. We didn't meet for two friends that fall in love. The future that we face we can't erase, but the past we had we can't replace. Can I rid the taste of the sweetest thing I've ever known? I yearn to share this time with you again. I wanna gain a love, not lose a friend. And I can't pretend that we can never get back to how it was with you and I. What's done is done, we can't run away. I know how you feel, you don't have to say. I can see it in your eyes. Oh, yeah. With emotions running wild, can't ignore the face reality. Can't hide the scars. It's the morning after. With emotions running wild, can't ignore the night does it feel to finally be free? I wonder, will I ever know? Sometimes I dream of how that can be, to have a life that I own. When you look that way, probably not meant to find. But no matter how hard it gets, no matter if the tears fall, nothing should stop us from trying. What do you see? Can you tell me? Do you understand? My story. All I want is love. Just a little love. Someone wants to see somebody. If you took the time, I have a song. When you look at me, what do you see? Can you tell me? Do you understand my story? My story. All I want is love. All I want is love. Someone else to see. Just somebody to. If you understand, I have a song. Let I have a song. Sweet little woman, can't you see that you're the only one for me? You make me feel, girl, so good inside. Stay by me, woman, for the rest of my life. And as I think of you more every day, there's only one thing, girl, that I can say. And that's, girl, I think the world about you. Woo! I'm always thinking of you. Oh, girl, I think the world about you. I'm always thinking of you. Yeah. It's kind of funny how time can really change things. You were never like a plaything. You were the one I could talk to. Oh, then one night we took this thing further. Didn't think things occurred were dangerous. I thought we'd still be cool. Now my conscience is getting at me. My pain is like laughing at me. I thought this would make us happy, but love wasn't all we made, girl. We made a great big mess of this, and if I could just have one wish, it would be not to discuss this. You see, I love you, but I've been in love. Being in love. Being in love. I've never been remembering when we were just friends. Wish I had a time machine to go back to then.
I take it back, come on.
Now it hurts to see all that's happening. Went from talks and laughing in. Now I just see your passion when we're arguing. Oh, now and then I sit and wonder how it would be if I look right past all the sweetness. My weakness has always been your smile, girl. Now I hate how we had to end this. Even more we gave up for friendship. I need now, but I can't talk to you about you, girl. You can't tell me about me. I feel like my heart's on empty. I wish the smile never tempted me. You see, I've been in love. Being in love. Being in love.
Welcome back to the Groove Studios. We love rare grooves. We're hot. It's hot tonight, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Roberson, man. Thank you so much for joining us in the Groove Studios, man. Did you?
You got people
enjoy that?
buzzing, brother.
You enjoy that musical selection, man, with your music, sharing it with a lot of other artists there, man. Thought you right next to line on those guys, man.
Well, first of all, honored, man, and you're playing some stuff I haven't heard in a long time, so it really brought back good memories, man.
We love rare grooves. That's how we do it.
That's how we do.
Dope.
That's what we do.
Really dope.
Now, we left you at Howard University. How did you get first signed to your first label? And how did that happen? I mean, how did you know that you were going to go into music as a career? Did you know you were going to go into music as a career?
Well, I mean, if I could have majored in R&B singing, I probably would have at Howard, but it wasn't a major. But I think I did grow up doing theater. I still have a great love for theater, so majoring there. I know I wanted to go somewhere inside the performance aspect in my career, but there was the group Shy, and If I Am,
Yeah.
Right.
also went to Howard, also good friends, and they gave their tape to a DJ, and within 2 weeks later they went on Arsenio Hall. 2 weeks after that, they had the biggest song in the world and an album that sold millions. So when they were still at Howard, obviously in that beginning part, they were still there. I just gave my demo tape to them and said, man, listen, just when you get to LA, just pass it to somebody. And they did, man. I'm very, very appreciative and humble to them to this day, because they didn't have to do that. And within a year of going back and forth to LA, a deal eventually came with Warner Brothers. And
Do you know who
that's when
they
I did
slid
the
it
Sophomore.
to? Do you know who the person was they slid it to?
Yeah. So one of them was Carl. His brother was managing them, and I think he might have had dabbled in the music business at the time, but he really took over as manager of that group. And from there, he started shopping it. So I don't know if they necessarily were taking it different labels. They pretty much gave it to him, and he started shopping it. Of course, they were signed to Gasoline Alley, but we went to every label. I mean, Lil Silas, once again, rest the passing. Went to his spot, Benny Medina at Warner Brothers. We went to every single label. They were sending me in the studio to cut more songs and a whole bunch of stuff. My first time to LA for this time, I remember I was only going for like 2 days, and I think I was meeting with Benny Medina, and he said, well, yo, I need you to do some more songs. I want to hear some more stuff, so I'm putting you in the studio. and like just come back with more songs. So I ended up staying like a week and a half. I only had like literally three outfits. And I stayed in the studio and just cut a whole bunch of songs, which eventually led to the probably 4 months later after that eventually led to the deal. But it taught me early on how this business works, you know. But that deal was very short-lived. I mean, the single did very, very well, but Benny Medina left. I left shortly after him, and then from there I was kind of label hopping for a minute. And with no stability, I said, man, let me take my butt back to school. And that's what I did, man. It was a hard decision to do, but I did. It was the best decision I've ever made, probably.
Did they know, like when you came back to school, did they know that you're like who you were and your music, or was it not a big deal because of who?
Because I wasn't gone that long. Yeah, I think that
You weren't forgotten, huh?
I set out maybe if not a semester, probably maybe a year I might have sat out, but I think when I look back, I might have just sat out a semester, because actually during the whole time while the moon was growing, I was still in school. I was still sitting in class, and I would leave on the weekends. I went on a tour with Elder Barge, which was phenomenal. It was such a learning lesson. Yeah. But during that time, I was still going to class, and then it was really, really picking up. And just when I was telling my parents, yo, I can't go to class anymore. It's crazy. My videos playing all over the place. The songs playing. Everybody stopped me between class. I got to focus on my music, because I was still trying to get an album done at the time. Right. And as soon as I stepped away, it just all started to fall apart. You know, I went to Island Records. I remember this day like it was yesterday. The second deal came in 2 seconds. And I was probably 75% done my album. And I think maybe the day after I signed, Hiram Hicks, who, you know, has been executive and out, took over Island and just let everybody go.
Were they with Def Jam at the time? Had they merged with Def Jam, or were they?
That was beforehand. So that was that was no, you know, it's always probably been Island, Def Jam. That's a good question. Was it Island, Def Jam at that time? This is probably 95.
I'm trying to think. So maybe not.
Was,
maybe we're.
But Hiram took over and just cut all the roster, cut all the A&Rs, fired everybody. Dang. And that was a valuable lesson, because it was like, yo, you want to listen to my album first? It was like, nah, he had his people. He was bringing people in. Mm-hmm. And that was probably the lesson of going like, yo, music can't save you. You need to know more than just how to make a dope song. Mm-hmm. So going back to school, I went back with a different hunger. But you got to think of this also. So when I was at school, I got a video on the box. Remember the box?
Right,
of course. Yeah, Music television you control. Right.
Oh my God, I had a video on the box. My song was playing all over the radio. It was good time. So you heard those little mumbles going by when I walked across the yard. It was nice. It gets quiet when I come back. It's like now the song's not really playing. And you could tell everybody, well, what's up with the album? Yeah, I'm working on it. That only worked, but about 3 months later,
right?
Working on the album, So it was definitely like some mumbles of like, yo, he kind of fell off, and I needed that. I needed that humbleness,
that boost,
and that challenge to kind of be better. Because truth be told, I became a better student. Mm-hmm. I think I became a better person overall. Yeah, a better songwriter. I think I dug in way deeper. So by the time I graduated, I had already started placing songs. I met 112. That was before I graduated. All that funny feelings and all that stuff like that. I was still in college, but my work ethic was crazy. When I had free time, I was going to Atlanta. I was working in Night Flight Studio. Shout out to Kevin Jackson in Maryland. I was just working.
You were moonlighting in different places.
So it was really connected. And at the same time, I was really, really doing really well in theater. Mm-hmm. A lot of my friends to this day are really shocked that I didn't choose a life of theater. Yeah. But really, in all honesty, I feel like I fulfilled that in my music. I pride myself on being a writer, so I live that out. If anybody watches me in the studio, I'm pretty much on Broadway when I'm in the studio.
The great thing is theater, you can always go back to it. I mean, you see so many people in Hollywood that go back to theater and do Broadway for like a couple of years just to get that out of them. So it's not like it's something that you can't go back to.
And I'm open to all of it. Yeah, for me it's never like I really stopped and did one or the other. Yeah. And for me, I would love to write a musical. I would love to just, but for me, if I had to prioritize getting on stage doing someone else's writing and portraying a that character was I love to do it, but it was second than me actually writing about my personal life or my character and carrying that story. There's a hunger. I've been writing like that ever since put a pencil up.
Since we were talking about who's one of your favorite playwrights.
August Wilson, man.
I already knew the answer to that because he asked it. So
I grew up next
it.
door to August
Really?
Wilson. Right, so all the
man.
plays has a really deep meaning for me, especially Jitney. I think he wrote Jitney, and then the one Radio Golf. My nickname is in that one. I think that's me, Junebug. It's a scene in there, Radio Golf, and no, seriously, I digress.
No, it's funny.
Very funny.
Now, how did songwriting come? I mean, have you always been a songwriter? How do you write? What inspires you?
My dad said as fast as I started putting sentences together, like as soon as I learned how to write words down, I was writing poetry. I mean, he got poems that I wrote when I was, a little kid, you know. And then like I said, being around a really creative sister, you know, who just was constantly creating, I think it was just making, and then plus growing up as a hip hop kid, you know, you listen to UTFO and all that stuff like that. I was trying to write rhymes from the start. So to me, storytelling and songwriting was just second nature. When I got to college though, there was a period, and it was really after Warner Brothers, to be honest with you. And I wrote a lot. I mean, I wrote a ton of songs up to that point. But Terrence Trent D'Arby put out an album called Vibrator, and it didn't do that well. It was a very quiet album, you know. But that album spoke to me so much that I think after that I was like, okay, my pen has to be another level from now on. Yeah. You know, and that was really it. But to answer your question, also now my writing process, which is very interesting, is, you know, I have a ton of albums. For the last almost 10 years, I haven't technically written a song down. You know, when I'm in the studio now, I just hit record. And this is probably more of my theater aspect. For me, more it's about figuring out who I'm trying to be in the song and then just be it. So if I'm sitting there, it's more like, okay, what's the narrative? Am I hurting? Am I happy? Whatever that is. And for me, it just comes out. Where I'm constantly writing. I mean, there's pads all over the place, right? Surrounding me. But those are more like poems and essays and letters to friends or whatever. I'm constantly writing. But when I get in the studio, to pick a pen up is almost like a distraction now. For me, it's about just being connected to the music as much as possible. So, yeah, that's the main thing.
Let me take you in a different direction. Being a real creative guy, how are you handling your fashion side? You're obviously in the music side, but obviously I felt a little something earlier about being a designer, a fashion person. Are you feeding that at all?
Yeah, well, you know what's interesting? My mother has always been in the fashion business. She left corporate America, I want to say my junior year of high school, which was a valuable step for us. She wanted to start her own business, and she left, you know, a very comfortable, you know, corporate job to start her own business in fashion. And it's no surprise that I have my own business. My older sister has her own business, and we know where, like now I look back and said, that's where it started, right? But my mother was always one of saying, when she styled someone, when she wardrobe somebody, she said that person has to find their style, has to find what fits them. So for me, it all goes around, like musically and fashion wise. I've never really had a stylist. Sure, there's been someone styled a photo shoot or something like that, but for me, I've always took a minute to figure out what works for me. Even the hats took a minute. I got a really big head, so first I had to find what fits.
Hey, that be me. That would be me.
Anything. And then it was like, okay, I can fit this, but now what fits me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and that's musically, that's wardrobe wise, that's it. I mean, I feel like I've in some form fashion styled a lot of people, helped out people in how they dress. Of course, how I get on stage is one thing. I haven't really turned it into a business. Obviously, we sell a ton of t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that, but it's still a passion of mine. But that's something also I take very, very serious. But at the same time, if I find something dope, like for example, this is a young lady named Mass Creativity who paints these hats. And obviously, I've bought every last one of these.
I'll take that one. I'll take that one. I'll take that.
I'll support. You know what I'm saying? I'll support. Y'all support your business. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I'm really big into fashion. You know, it's funny, even when you look back, 15 years ago, before we would get on stage with suits and hats and stuff, I would get on stage with sneakers and jeans and T-shirts. But at the same time, I was getting on stage with like a rare pair of Dunks, Dunk sneakers. I had PRPS jeans. Like, my mother might be looking at me like, yo, you really wearing jeans and sneakers? But someone who knew, those outfits cost way more than the suits I get on.
There you go. You see what I'm saying? Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So people watch and go, okay, this cat, it might look like he's not really dressing, but at that time I was still like, swag got to be right.
Yeah, exactly.
We see that now.
That has to be authentic. You know that?
Exactly.
And Eric, I met you quite a while ago at the NBA All-Star game. You were in the Air Jordan. I can't remember the year, but you were being hosted at the Michael Jordan Air Jordan Suite.
Wow.
And I can't remember exactly
was
what year.
Michael still playing?
No, it was Howard White was with the Jordan group, but you were there, and that's the first time I was introduced to you. But I can't even remember what year that was, but it must have been 12.
Yeah, that's going back. That's going back. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I feel like that was in Houston.
I can't remember. I really, because I used to have
All
a
that
sports
weed he
marketing
smoked.
company.
You
Yep.
can't remember. Yeah, that's all that weed he smoked sometimes. That's all I can say. Hey, Eric, man, this is great conversation, man. But we're gonna take a moment here and go into one of Serving Spoons. Then we're gonna come back and get into some more music, because the show it's about the music, about your music, and sharing those rare grooves. And then we're gonna come back. You with us tonight, man? You with us? You with us here all night, man? We got this. Hey, you hanging? You with us? Because we're gonna go a little bit of overtime tonight, okay? But we got something special for you, all right?
Cool.
All right, we'll be right back in One Groove Channel and One Groove Minute, as we're gonna do a little bit Serving Spoon, the best Southern cuisine. If you didn't go to Serving Spoon last time, you didn't? Did you go to Serving Spoon to eat your breakfast?
I don't think so. I need to though.
So when you come back to LA,
we got you.
We got you at the Serving Spoon.
Got you.
And this time I got you at the Miracle Theater. I'm putting it out there now. It's gonna be a We Love Rare Groove presents.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there now. I'm just saying.
I love it.
I'm just saying.
I love it.
We'll be right back, man, in One Groove Channel, One Groove Minute. Give us a call, 323-524-2599. We're grooving here on the Universal Broadcast Network. That's right, Channel 1, and also all of our social medias, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and we're on MySpace Live, too.
Oh, my God. He's just kidding. He's really just
right.
kidding.
Pretty Tony.
Feel the energy when you come in here. The food is great. We pride ourselves on our service. We really stress that with our employees, that when you come here, that you're actually better for your coming. And if you give us 1% of your trust, we'll earn the other 99. And by the way, there ain't no better breakfast.
Back to the Groove Studios. You see
Now
the
I
Serving
want
Spoon?
breakfast now.
The Serving Spoon, my urban eatery, right there in Inglewood, California. ServingSpoon.net. Give them a call. Reach out. They still open 8 to 2, outside. I was out there last week.
They open 2 in the morning?
No,
No,
Eric,
8.
Afternoon.
And,
Eric,
I was
what
about
is
to
your
go over there
go-
right now?
Eric, what's your go-to breakfast dish? Like, you got to have it, get you right, where you're fully nourished, and you
It depends on the mood, man. But I'll tell you, I mean,
If
I
you
can't
hungry,
cook to save my life, but I'm serious about them pancakes. I can make some serious pancakes.
okay?
I've won some competitions, but really, I mean, I don't eat red meat or pork, but like a turkey, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich.
Yes, okay.
He
Some
said
waffles
he
at 2
don't,
o'clock
eat,
in the
he don't
morning,
eat pork,
you
but he
know.
said turkey. He said bacon. I know
Turkey
you like. I know you
bacon.
turkey. I know he
Turkey
turkey
bacon. Yeah.
You like me? I'm a 5%er. I don't eat
Oh
pork
my
either.
God.
Yeah.
There we
I'm 5%.
I eat a little bit too.
5%.
But I mean, for me, I gets down, man. You know, at 3 o'clock in the morning, we just finished the show. We at Waffle House getting in trouble or something. You know,
Yeah, that's what I need to go
Waffle
right now.
House.
Gosh.
yeah. You listen. You know, bad decisions at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Waffle House.
You
Absolutely.
feel it the next day, don't we?
Yeah, you feel it days after.
Right.
Hey,
Not like it was when we was little.
hey, we can ready to go into this musical selection, man. And
Where were you before we go into the music selection? Where were you when you first heard your song on the radio? Where were you?
I was in my apartment. It was in a dorm room. It was pretty much an apartment in DC. In DC at WHUR, played The Moon for the first time.
Did you
That
blast
was-
it like out the window, like, hey? I would have.
No, I was caught off guard because the song wasn't supposed to come out for like a whole nother month, and I think I just had the radio on and the song came on. So I probably, in all honesty, spent the whole time calling my manager trying to figure out. And if I'm being honest with you, because just studying what they were telling me, if WHR played it first, that meant Kiss wasn't going to play it, or the other channels weren't going to play it.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Well, we're in trouble. Why is it playing? You know, why is it? And sure enough, it was way. I had to bring flowers to the other station, like just apologizing.
Yeah,
for the
that's how
song
it used to
playing.
be.
politics.
Back then, yeah.
Politics, huh?
radio.
Yeah.
So first time was a little bittersweet because the whole time I was like, why is it on? I'm in trouble. Wait.
Right.
I was like that, you know. But it was cool. A dream come true, you know.
So we're gonna go into some musical selections of some collaborations you have done with some artists. So we're ready to go into those. Come back and talk about some of your best collaborations. Then we're gonna do Shantani in 60 seconds. So get your mind around the questions she's gonna ask you in 1 minute.
Okay.
And one other thing for you, man. Did you get that gift that we sent you?
What's up, girl?
Okay, you look very paused there.
We sent you a package. Did you
Did you
receive
get a package? Last Thursday it was delivered. Okay, don't worry about it. If you don't get
You know what?
What?
I'm going to check.
go check,
gonna-
because we're going to some music. Go check and come on back. Go check and
did.
go bring it. All
I'm
right.
gonna
we-
get it right now. I'll
Okay,
get it right
we're
now.
going musical selection. More of Eric Roberson right here. Grow this love, baby. Take me away, man.
How about this time you and I, we take our time. I wanna grow this shit love. How about you? And say goodnight. So many times I was falling in love. Well, maybe more like falling in. Falling so fast, I couldn't just grasp what I needed when love within. But since we began being more than just friends, maybe we take it day by day. If I learn you better, my heart might just let you stay around and love would just stay. So many times I heard that I love you lines only to wake up and find it's not true. Wake up and find it's not true. How about this time you and how we take our time? I wanna grow this in love. How about grow this in love? How about so many times I use that I love you lines only to wake up and find it's not true. Wake up and find it's not true. How about this time you and how we take our time? I wanna grow this in love. How about you? How about you? I like your vibe, but honestly, let me take the time out to explore my mind. And if you'll be a lover or just another heart I would ignore, I feel so sabotage when I'm feeling low and losing faith. I believe, so I'll concede. It's time for another way. So many times I heard those I love you lines only to wake up and find it's not true. Wake up and find it's yeah. It's hard, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, but it's real. Hey. Been thinking, baby, it back.
Nothing you can say that could ever make me stay. Let me tell you. Nothing you can do, 'cause when it comes to me and you, she's just better.
In every way, and every day I'm so thankful for her. Such a feeling inside.
Nothing you can say that could ever make me stay. Let me tell you.
Ooh, yeah, oh.
Nothing you can do, 'cause when it comes to me and you, she's just better.
So I don't ever have to run away, and I don't ever wanna try to leave. A soft kiss on a summer day, it's the feeling that you're giving me, yeah. She's always a friend of mine, and it came to me right on time. No tears left for me to cry, 'cause it was you, not you and I.
Say that could ever make me stay. Let me tell you.
Say yeah. Oh.
Nothing you can do, 'cause when it comes to me and you, she's just better.
Bring it back.
Your soul, your soul, your soul.
I think it's time we let go of the old, bring in the new, maybe grow a bro. Gotta know how to open your chakra doors. Need your ground and control. Take your hands off the remote control. Put it down and build your bankroll. Free your soul.
Your soul,
Free your soul.
your soul, your soul,
Through your soul. You'll find peace, happiness. Baby. Deep inside, you know you're beautiful. If you gotta cry, just let it go. Keep your vision and don't stop trying. Mind over matter is one you got to rely in. Baby, you got to let love grow. 'Cause everybody knows it when you glow.
your soul,
Your soul, nobody,
your soul,
baby.
your soul.
Your soul, you'll find peace.
Lamar, 'cause all of my homies are up to par. I don't drink, but I kill these bars. And ladies wanna know, oh, who we are. Well, come on stage and play with us. Music, poetry, and lust. Later on we can discuss how you and your crew can make space for us. As the hours pass, on our backs laying in the grass, staring in space, the stars we count. Count on us, we got the sound. Look what I found, space and time for me to get down. Won't you sing along, Little John back up for the whole song. Won't you make space for what you love? It's what you love, you got to do it. And if you do it, then you got to share it. And if you share it, give it some space. It ain't all about the money or what you get in return. But you make space for what you love. You might find some space to learn. It didn't go like I had planned. I thought after we shared an evening that I would have the upper hand. But the thought of this girl ain't leaving. She's constantly on my mind. And I thought it would be the other way around. And I found the games I played on me right now. Cause I smell her hair and I smell her perfume. Even though I know she's not there, and I can't resume. Oh, she left a mark on me. She left a mark on me. She left a mark on me. She left this pretty little girl left a mark on me. She left a mark on me. She left a mark on me. She left a I smell her hair and I smell her perfume. Even though I know she's not there, I can't resume. I guess she left a mark on me, and I don't even know what to say or do to make this feeling go away. It seems like I wake up every day hoping that this feeling's gone. But of course now I'm reminded that I'm wrong, and I dream about her all night long. She's dancing in my head like a song. What is going on? 'Cause I smell her hair and I smell her perfume. Even though I know she's not there, and I can't resume. Oh, she left a mark on me. She left a mark on me. She left a mark on me. She left a pretty little girl left a mark on me. She left a mark on me. She left a mark on me. She left yeah. See, I smell her hair and I smell her perfume.
Welcome back in the Groove Studios. We're live and with Eric Smooth Ass Roberson. That's all I can say.
Well, you a cold piece, homie. You
Hey.
a cold piece.
Yeah, you are, man.
Y'all got me back in my feelings right now. I haven't heard the album version, so I'm like, man.
See, look at you.
That's what we do in the Groove Studios.
I guess you'll be
man.
doing some writing and take some notes tonight, huh?
And we had one song we threw a rare groove in there, but I seen you bopping your head to that. That's Amp Fiddler.
Amp Fiddler, man. Oh.
Fiddler, you feeling me with Amp?
Amp's not only amazing artist, but amazing person just in general, man. Real good dude, man. Really helpful dude in my career as well. So yeah,
Man, I'm
great.
trying to get him on, man. After the show, if you can give me some info, we try and get him on, man.
I haven't spoken to Amp in a minute, but I'm sure I can track him down. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll work on that. That's not a problem.
And then we came out with Grow This Love, man. I love that song.
Yeah, that's
right
a
there.
cold jam right
Yeah.
Talk
there.
us about some of these collaborations, man. You got your guy here. Let's just talk.
Fonte?
Yeah,
Foreign exchange.
Yeah.
foreign exchange.
You know, so me and Fonte, man, we've been friends, really, really good friends for, man, at least 15 years. And we decided to do an album together, really just to really express our friendship more than anything, just our bond. I've been on so many of their records, obviously the Foreign Exchange record that you played. He had been on my records, the Been in Love song, so we were like, yo, let's get together and just do something. It was a great collaboration. So we did an album called Tigalero, which is his nickname Tigalo and my nickname Arrow put together. And it was just a good time. And then Grow This Love was just one of those songs we came up with, man. It was a great vibe. It felt good. It had a good meaning under it, you know what I mean? So it's a good time, man. Really good time. It was funny because we talked about it and he had hit me. He was on tour and he had this small window. He said, I'm ready to record. And I had just had my third child. And I'm literally in the hospital holding my son like it's the second day. And he's like, yo, let's start recording. I'm like,
Dude.
I just had, my wife just had a baby. And so I really recorded that record and really probably since I've had kids, I've probably done it. So it wasn't that new, but that whole album I recorded holding my son, you know, the whole album. But really the albums before that, Mark on Me was, I was holding my second son, you know. You know what I mean? So they've been with me like just pretty much, you know, I've always had a studio in my home. Even when I had a studio down the street in another building, I still had one here. And I've always just wanted my kids around me. I always wanted my family around me while I was working. So that was a normal thing.
Now, how did you get placement? What was the first song that you wrote that you weren't on that was placed? For which artist? Do you remember?
There was a group named Faja. It was funny because it was my first placement was on Warner Brothers, and it also shows how fast things cycle. Mind you, I left when Benny Medina left, so of course the new president brings in a whole new regime. And I was working at a studio called Night Flight, and they shopped the song I did called Well to Warner Brothers, and then a group named Faja sang on it. That was my first placement was that group. And then a few others started following after that.
So that is interesting that you left Warner Brothers and then your song would be placed at that of all labels. Yeah.
And when I went to speak to, you know, the people who bought the song, they almost didn't know anything of me. You know, it was like and it was probably 1 year and a half later, probably, you know. But it was a whole new, everybody I said, was such and such there anymore? They were like, nah, nobody's there. So I was like, okay, I get it. That's how the business is.
Did you ever get any vindication with Island after you left and things left the way that they did? Did you ever cross paths with them again or anybody from there?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. I actually did work with Hiram later on, and it was no hard feeling. I mean, by the time I worked with him, I kind of had my feet solid in the ground and kind of realized it was just business. You know, I've been on every side of it, you know, so being a songwriter, you know, because I was just a songwriter for years after that, before I really started putting albums out again. And I watched and became really good friends with a lot of A&Rs, a lot of executives, and just watched how many albums were made that never came out. Yeah. And I think a lot of the reason why I became an independent artist was just watching great records, possibly life-changing and music-changing and genre-changing records that no one ever heard. And I was like, I can't be that. I just can't. And a lot of times it was because of business. It had nothing to do with, you know, the music more times than not. So,
that's so interesting.
yeah. By the time I met Hiram, it was all cool. I had no problem with it whatsoever.
That's right. So you having us go deep tonight. Yeah.
Oh wow! Yes.
DeVoe showing you his playlist, how he pulls the women
There we go.
for unsuspecting souls.
Well. So long.
I love it. My Tony Braxton imitation song. That's what you know. Like, right.
That's a nice jam.
Yeah.
Tell us.
So here's an idea. Have you ever thought about just pulling the entire Howard University music story and pull it together? Because I've listened to you, and I know all the old school people from the Howard School of Music, and I just think it'd be an incredible story that I don't think has been completely told by anyone.
Y'all could do a choir, honestly.
Yeah. Just even it's several different avenues you can take it, but just, you know, I had Donny Hathaway's English teacher. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I found out she taught Donny Hathaway, I couldn't learn anything else. I mean, I pretty much spent that whole semester learning about how was Donny Hathaway in this class. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, what did you teach him? Like, what did he learn about?
Interesting, and that's a great question, because we did the Donald Byrd acoustic and electric review here at the Inglewood Theater with Kevin Toney, and we got permission from his son to collaborate and use his name and do the Donald Byrd acoustic and eclectic review. So, you know, it goes all that far back, you know, to Mr. Byrd.
Yeah, it's so rich. I mean, just the music department by itself.
Yep.
And then there's so many people that you just don't even think about. Like I said, you know, when Puffy left, he grabbed his homies and they ran Bad Boy, but most of those left and have been very, very successful producers, very, very successful executive label owners that really have been very under the radar. But I mean, a large part of this music business ran from that small circle.
Yeah, even Richard Smallwood and Felicia Rashad and all of them generations before, they all came from Howard, and Kamala Harris and all of them.
Angela Winbush.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Something about that
really,
school.
really, it's really rich, a rich history. And you know, it's interesting. I really would love, my dream is to introduce a songwriting curriculum to the music department. It's not one there. For as many great singers and songwriters that have came from Howard, there's not a songwriting curriculum, and I really want to bring that there at some point. You know, I just, for the last 2 years, I've been teaching songwriting at Berklee College of Music in Boston.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, I think my overall goal is like to just get there. You know, like that's my give back. I love to teach anyway, but to get to Howard and really bring it, because some of the biggest executives, some of the biggest songwriters, some of the biggest singers, some of the biggest producers all come from there.
Yeah.
And I think it has a lot to do with just the overall feel of, I mean, there wasn't a audio engineering or music production major, but we were in those dorm rooms all night working on music. You know,
But there
I showed
was
up
obviously
to
a
Howard real quick.
magic there. There's obviously a magic because it's
Oh,
produced
yeah.
out of all the HBCUs. It's produced. I mean, FAMU of course has, but it's produced a lot of entertainment talent has come out of Howard, and not like I've never ever seen anywhere else. So it's obviously some sort of magic that belongs there.
Donny
The
Hathaway.
Motown and Howard.
Well, you know,
Right.
Detroit
No,
is
but-
Detroit, but I
No,
mean,
but
like
that type of environment.
that's what I mean. Like there was something in the
environment.
water in Detroit. There was something in the water at Howard. I mean, there's definitely something there. But it's interesting that you brought that up about records, why you started your independent and why you decided to be an independent artist. Because I remember Frank McComb was talking about how he worked at Philadelphia International and how they would go through the crates every month and they would see all of the songs that were being thrown away, all of these songs that were recorded by all these big artists that we will never hear because they're in a crate somewhere because they never, for whatever reason, they didn't make it to the album. So it just speaks to your point about why you started the independent label and why you decided to go.
Side note, this is called having 3 kids. This microphone was pointed the wrong direction. I know y'all hear me way better now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. You just
I didn't want to
like-
keep fussing at you, you know.
It was literally pointed the other direction, but that shows how cooked out we are in this house with all these kids. No, Frank, who's one of the most talented people I've ever met in my entire life. But yeah, you get a chance to see it. You get a chance to see it, and I mean, I've watched some of the most amazing. And I would say that for every Erykah Badu or for every D'Angelo or Joe or Anthony Hamilton that you get to hear, there's probably 5 of those
That you don't.
who we miss.
Yeah.
So just imagine, just erase all of Alicia Keys' music out of your life, or erase all of Usher's music, or all of Erykah Badu's music out. And I think that's the inside thing that we see a lot before the independent thing really took off.
Yeah.
That was the thing that we kept seeing, was like, that's crazy. That's not coming out.
Right,
you know?
right. The talent.
Out.
Yeah, the talent.
Yeah, and it was a lot. So for me, I learned very early on what was the most important thing for me. The most important thing for me was to have the music out, for me to be able to do the music I wanted to do. Because that's the other side. Like you'll have people out here who have sold 10 million records and they're unhappy.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, they have to sing songs they hate for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
So many artists say that. They say, we always ask them, like, when did you start? And they'll be like, album number 3 or 4 is when they started singing songs that they really cared about, or they were able to have an opinion on their career.
if they were lucky to get, if they're even lucky to get to that
far,
point,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
So
And I've been very fortunate to be able to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because I remember Indy Ari, they paired her with Akon, and she was like, nah, that's not going to work. And that was like the first single, and she's like, no.
Yeah.
And they just, sometimes that brass kind of forces you to do some things that you don't want to do. So, yeah, I hear that a lot from artists. Like, I hate that damn song.
Right.
go ahead. We got one more thing. Go ahead, Eric.
If you look at the system of how the record business is set up, it's set up to fail. It's set up to push you to almost depreciate your accomplishments, because even if you sell 2 million records, the next time, like, well, can you sell 3?
Right.
And it's just set up to not allow it to be what it's supposed to be. You know, it doesn't have to always be the most grandest, craziest thing. Sometimes it just can be that. but it's set up to think that if you didn't beat out what you did last time, you completely fall off. It's over. Let's stop completely, and that's just crazy.
Great information. I got one more question. I got Shantini in 60 seconds. We got our Dusty of the Week, special video presentation for you, and then we got to kind of close out. So with that being said, the question is, what would you tell a young artist entering this business? I mean, we kind of got a lot of stuff out of you, but what would you just say in retrospect of giving them a pearl of wisdom?
Most important thing is completion in all aspects of it, not just completing the song, but completing the business aspect and understanding your brand and how you carry yourself, and really appreciate those behind you, those beside you, those leading the way, but really follow your own path, your own lane. Like, everybody's steps are different. So somebody who's rocking today doesn't mean that you're not going to be rocking tomorrow. Just stay in your lane and enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. That's the main thing I would tell somebody.
Okay. Y'all want to
wait, hey, check it out.
Hey! Hold on to it. We're going to come back to it in 1 minute.
Indeed.
My man. Hey, Shantini, in 60 seconds, you ready? And so she going to ask you these.
I'm going to ask you a series of random questions. You have to answer them in 60 seconds or less. You only have 60 seconds. Don't let Clifton deter you somewhere else, because he wants you to not witness.
No, I will.
What was your first job?
Paper route.
Your favorite song? Your favorite song to perform?
Ooh, Picture Perfect.
Name a lover gave you.
Name a lover gave me?
Uh-huh.
My wife calls me babe.
Oh. Greatest piece of advice?
Treat your money like it's your kids' money.
Oh, I was born in 1984. What were you doing then?
1984, riding a skateboard.
If you could record or produce an album for a celebrity that is deceased, who would that be?
Bill Withers.
If you hadn't made a career in music, what would you have done instead?
Fashion design.
If you could live again as an animal, which one would you be?
Black Panther.
Oh, good. Which superpower would you want? Invisibility, flying, or reading minds?
Flying.
Dream artist to work with that is alive?
Erykah Badu.
That's it. I think you're the only one who did it in 60 seconds, actually.
There you go.
I think you're the only one.
Let's go.
So we can ready to go into what we call our Dusty of the Week, and we go back in the crates and we get something out there that kind of reflects the artist that we have. We
normally cough, but we don't want you to think we have
sound
COVID.
effect? Right. Where's that?
Normally, we
blow
don't
the
want
dust
you to
off
think
the
we have
record.
COVID.
Have some sound effects. But
No cough right now. No cough right now.
But the Dusty of the Week is brought to you by Sweet Life SoCal magazine. That's right, where they feature colorful stories, colorful people, and colorful places. It's Concierge magazine for the socially and consciously engaged.
Culturally engaged.
Culturally engaged. Southern California, we serve to inspire, inform, and foster innovation into insightful features on dynamic people, places, and programs. So follow them on Sweet Life SoCal and also sweetlifesocal.com. So what's our Dusty of the Week? What is it, gang?
Our Dusty of the Week is by the one and only Jackie Wilson.
Jackie
my
Wilson.
favorite.
Somebody
favorite
called him
song.
Mr. Jumping Jacks, right?
So
Called him
that's-
Mr. Jumping Jacks.
So we're putting you in line with Jackie Wilson, my good man. So let's
Okay.
do this
I love
Dusty 50 years ago. And then we got a surprise for you, a little video tribute, and then we're going to come back and close out. But we got to have you come back again, man. We got questions we didn't answer. We got music we didn't
Yes.
play.
Folks upset,
Upset
trying to
at-
get to you. Y'all say,
Right.
well, he's here. We good.
Yeah, he's coming.
Take
We
me
gotta
away.
have part two. That's all good.
That's
Okay.
right.
Pretty Tony. Give me about a minute.
Come out of here on the floor. Let's rock some more. Come out of here on the floor. Honey, let's rock some more. Now when you get out there, don't you have no? Put your hands on your hips and let your back go. And right. Mama, move up. Mama, move back. was a big fan of my words. And the dress she had on, I was a fan of her curves. Guess she and I had a whole lot in common. In most circumstances, I'd be all in. But I got a new shorty and I really kinda dig her, yeah. So chillin' with this girl don't fit in the picture now. But she wanna know what I got going on later on. And would it be wrong if she tagged along? I thought to myself, I got a girl back at home. I can't afford to just carry on. A wise man once told me, when you're facing this, shake her hand and just walk away. Where do we go from here? What do I do with these feelings? Oh, no, 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 no. Longing to have you near. No, when we shouldn't be dealing. Oh, no.
Why can't these memories just be erased? Why must I yearn for your kiss? The first moment we're not face to face reminds me how much you missed. Where do we go? Oh no. What do
Missing, yearning, tossing, turning, feeling for her, still waiting, shaking, hating, having flashbacks, asking why me, blindly walking, hoping, praying that she finds me, sees me, needs me, wants me, still by her side, still.
Yo, this party is crazy, son. Look at old girl over there.
I've been fine, but tonight was tough. Heard our song, my heart had enough.
Hey, I think I'm gonna go, y'all.
Finished my drink, I hugged my friends.
See y'all later, okay?
They all look concerned. I smiled at them.
Nah.
I said that I'm
Trust me,
trying.
I'm good. I'm good.
But there are times in my life when I want to stay lost in my mind, never face the day. But if there's a girl who can change my world, it's you. There are times in my life when I want to run off in the night, never see the sun. But if there's a name I call with no shame, it's you. Heart's beating, I'm weakening until you came into my life, my healing, and I don't wanna let it go. I can't let you go, no.
get ready?
'Cause we are on.
Get ready.
'Cause we are on. As long as the sun is shining, it's a great summertime. So come on, let's party. Courtesy of Jermaine Mobley and your boy Arrow. Come on, y'all. Let's get them toes done. Them dresses out. Brothers, clean up your kicks. Yeah. Weekend is coming up. Let's open up the windows and let me lend you this melody to night is creeping and we starting up so early. And we so Jersey, cars parked out on the lawn. We may not be here for long. Cops come, we say so long. Yeah, yeah. So high, it's summertime. It feels like it's the day to go down. The sun is out, let's find a good place to cool.
Take you back all like a pimp from way back. Hey, what car is that?
Back
Just
in the groove.
coming around the corner. What car was that? Y'all missed it.
Eldorado.
That was an Eldorado.
Eldorado? Okay,
Convertible.
I knew they
Coming
spotted
back
it.
here in the Groove Studios, you got Simo, Shantini,
That
Irene,
summertime
DJ
anthem,
Red.
brother.
Can you
help
still
me
do
with
that
the
kick?
Vogue.
Can you still do that kick that you was
Yeah,
doing in
there
that
you
video?
go. Yeah, that's what we really want to
That
know.
wasn't too long ago.
I knew he was
Of course
gonna say that. I
kick.
just told him that. I'm like, he just did the video.
That's what I
Hey, what I noticed when you were doing that dance, I noticed about the suit because you like your haberdashery. They had bell bottoms on that suit. Am I correct? It wasn't a real straight leg on there. I noticed that. That was a little bit more fun. Yeah.
Yo, we were going back.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what's even crazier was we shot that in North Carolina. I either flew. I want to say I probably drove to. No, I probably flew down there because to Fonte's house. We went to a thrift store the day before the video shoot and we found all those clothes.
Wow. Really? That's why I noticed the bell bottoms. I was like, okay, y'all.
Yeah, that was a cold video.
Yeah.
And we big dudes. We big dudes. But I was like, yo, we going to go to some thrift stores. And I kind of probably brought a couple of pieces. I may have brought the pants, but I know I found that jacket at a thrift store. I probably
That
found
jacket
the
was
pants.
off the chain.
We went shopping. We went shopping the night before. Like went to a thrift store and just started finding, and it was all. When you really work on something, you prepare. I mean, it just starts coming together.
Yeah.
You still got that jacket?
So.
Oh yeah. Listen, we don't get rid of clothes.
Nah. Hey, we in overtime right now, man, and our engineer GM.
He's got to go.
You got to go. So, with that being said, man, how do people keep up with Eric Roberson? What's all your social media handles?
Oh man, Eric Roberson Music is the website. If you want to, main thing I rock on Instagram a lot, so that's Arrow44, ERRO 44. But I'll tell everybody the main thing I will always tell everybody is I have this thing called The Process where people subscribe to follow me in the studio. So every idea I do, they can get a copy of the songs. All the songs I do, the albums I make them in front of people. It's called The Process. If people are interested, go to jointheprocess.com. There's a weekly podcast. It's grown into this crazy thing, but it's over
dope.
1,000
I don't know.
members.
Right, I've seen it. I don't know. It's
really,
dope.
Really fun, man. Really fun. And I think if you want to understand business, want to understand whatever, we do songwriting workshops. But it's a good time, man. So I'll say if you really want to keep up, go to jointheprocess.com.
Arrow, when are you coming to L.A.?
Yeah.
Man, when all this clears up, man.
Arrow,
Mom ain't letting you out here, huh?
Are we coming back to the Miracle or what, baby? Or we need to go somewhere else? Talk to me.
I love the Miracle Theater. It was really, really dope. Good vibe.
Okay.
So yeah, we definitely come back there.
No,
Okay,
I'm here for you. But with that being said, man, we want to thank you for taking the time out. We love to have you come out to part 2 because we got some paperwork here that we didn't cover.
I'm all good. I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, but from the Groove team here, DJ DeVoe, DJ Reg, Shantini, oh, you already on it. The consultant,
Got it already.
Freddie, Tony, and myself, we want to give you the We Love Rare Grooves Award. Look, I had to show it like this. So, hey, man, I'm glad you got it, man.
No, I appreciate it. Look, my kids got it before my dad got it out I think the P.O. box. And so he brought it over here, and the kids was having a good time with it. I said, man, if y'all give me that, what is that?
Right, that's Daddy Mike.
So this is all good, man. I appreciate it very much.
Hey, man, do me a favor. Take a photo with it and then take one by itself. So, because we don't have you in the studio, so we got to put it in our archive. So if you'd be so kind to do that and send it back to us and we can post it. You post it too, man. Let them know where you was at hanging out. And I guess I need to talk with Sweet. I talked to Sweet again to get you back on.
Oh yeah, that's she's my right hand. That's my brain right there. So that's no problem. Shout out to Sweet Locks and Baby Locks and the whole fam.
That's right.
Sweet Locks, appreciate her assisting
well,
us
we
and making sure this
appreciate you
happens.
doing this interview, especially at this late hour when you have kids at home that you're probably doing
Homeschooling.
virtual learning with. So We sure do
it's all
appreciate
good.
this.
Today was my oldest son's birthday. He turned 10, so he said he literally went to bed right before this. Right before here.
Oh, he knew what he was doing. He knew.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Stay up.
Stay up, watch the game the whole night. So they gonna be tore up tomorrow.
Yeah.
How many you have?
3.
Three?
We got 3.
3 boys, 10,
Okay.
8, and 4.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Special. That's special, man.
Yeah,
So,
man, I love it. I
hey,
love
man,
it.
we're honored to have you in the Groove Studios. Look forward to having you back, man. Let's stay in contact, man. I think y'all got my cell number, so you can text me, and we need to stay in communication, and then we'll get you
I look
back here
forward
soon.
to
man.
it.
Okay.
And keep us abreast of what you're doing. We take
Right.
care of our alumni, and you part of it now. So keep us abreast so we can deliver the word on the West Coast for you, because you're a good brother.
Because we didn't get that music out with DJ Jazzy Jeff that you just had out, you know, for this during the
Cancel
COVID.
2020,
Yes,
we
I
got
want to get
good
that
stuff
out.
coming up.
And
Well,
keep
we need
shooting
to
them
do a
videos.
part 2, and at the same time, we do the We Love Red Grooves at Miracle Theater. Holla at your boy.
Hey.
So yeah, I'm down.
Okay. Well, we got that, man. Again, an honor to have you in the studio, man. We'll be in touch with you real soon. We'll get this replay over to Sweet Talk so we can, go ahead and let you guys play that for us, okay?
Appreciate it.
All right, man. As we
Much
do
love, y'all.
much love to you, man. As we do every Monday night here in the Groove Studios, we give you where the legends can be found.
That's right.
Am I right?
That's right. We go
And
deep.
We do. So
Right.
we're here next.
Next week, I think.
Yeah, we're here next Groove.
Next
week.
Groove time.
Next Groove time next week. We'll be here. We're
Yes.
still working on artists for next week.
Okay.
Do I want to put it out there in the universe? Chic.
Absolutely.
Norma Jean from Chic.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Norma Jean.
Norma Jean.
Melba Moore coming up.
Yeah, Melba Moore, October 12th.
Karen White coming up.
Okay.
We're doing our thing. Kevin Flanoy.
James Brown.
And
Maybe not.
We're going to light some candles up in here for him. Have a little seance.
I'm watching that.
And you coming back doing part 2.
Let's do it.
Have a
Let's
good
do it.
night.
Have a good night, man. On
Be
the
safe,
East Coast.
brother.
so
Be
much.
safe. Thank you.
Good night, brother.
We
Love Rare Grooves.
Good night.
Peace out, man. Eric, boy. That boy.